So I'll do what I do at the beginning of each class or each stream session. I'll go over my trades and my thoughts on the market, and then I'll take any suggestions of coins that you guys want to look at and give potential setups. So Bitcoin, I was asleep during this whole entire situation, but I gave the long last week to long, or I gave the call to long 25,400. That filled. My stops never hit. They were slightly in profit. TP1 hit, and full TPs have hit. So I'm fully out of the long, and it's going according to plan. I wouldn't long here. We're close to resistance, and if we take a look, and this is the level that I mentioned previously, um, this 25 or this 28 400 to 500 range, this blue box here, this is the crucial point to flip. Okay, so before it was range highs, we deviated above, came back down, turned it into resistance here, like I mentioned, and then that was the short. And then same thing here, right? Deviated above, came back down, lost it. So we are getting close to that point of touch to see if we actually reject and then go further down. But there should be no longs taken here until this level here is flipped. So that's why I wouldn't advise longing. Someone has a hot mic. I'm going to. Cool, thank you. So for now, no long should be taken. Bitcoin is still bullish, and if it continues to be bullish, any pullback on lower time frames should be shallow. So just like this, right? We went up to 28 100-ish, and we had a $200 pullback. If it continues to be bullish, that's how it should be. So we have slight pullback, burn off some RSI, and then consolidate under resistance to see if we end up breaking through. But again, no long should be taken until this level is flipped. See how we flipped it over here, right? We broke out, we flipped it. So that's the long scenario. Now, if I go back on the daily here, okay, we have a lot of confluence for a possible short. Okay, so one, I'm short from 27 470. So the play that I gave, my DCA is around 28 200-ish. We missed by $40. But I'm still holding my short. If I get stopped, I get stopped, and that's totally fine. It's a hedge against my long. So in essence, I'll have a 7% gain. But if we take a look at the 4 hour, the 200 EMA, we are literally right at it. So if we are to reject, this would be the area to reject. 4 hour closes in about an hour. If we are able to flip this, we should go higher to about this range. But this 28 400 to 500 range is where I think the big move happens, whether it continues to to flip it and continue to go higher. But that would be a bearish retest point as well. This confluence right here. So we held this trend line, right? And then we broke down. So this 0.236 fib, along with this SR point, this was support at one point, this 28,950. It was support until we lost it, okay? So it's going to be an SR point, meaning support resistance area. If we go back up, we have a horizontal resistance or SR point along with the trend line. So that's two confluences with a possible rejection there, along with the 0.236 fib. So that's what I'm looking at. I hope we go a little bit higher to get my DCA, and then we just dump from there. Basically, follow this trajectory of the squiggle that I drew last week. But if we are able to consolidate under here, I'll manually cut my short, and I'll just walk away with the gains that I made from the Bitcoin long. So again, no long should be taken here. If this continues to be bullish, then probably 27 450-ish or 27 500 is going to be the area to long. That would be the SR point as well. See all this resistance over here. We broke out. So if we are able to hold this, then we should go higher. If we close back below here, okay, I just think that this was a fake dump. Obviously bullish news, but it's just a pump into a catalyst and then further down. So a place to keep your eye on, in my opinion, is going to be that 27 400 to 27 500 point. So any pullbacks into that region, if strong, should be bought up, and we go higher. The second position that I'm currently in is BNB. I gave this last week as well. The reason for this long that was taken, or this short that was taken, we had a weekly resistance as well a weekly supply. So that's why I shorted that area. Okay, I'm looking for consolidation, and usually there are a lot of bids. So a lot of people that bought over here are hoping for their and bought on spot are hoping for their um, the price to come back here to at least sell. So they were buying here and buying on the way down and selling here. That's why you have this consolidation phase, and that's where I looked to short, and we filled it perfectly. Missed DCA by a little bit, but when I'm looking at supply regions, I'm looking for these consolidation zones. And that's how I play my supply and demand zones. Okay, so I look for downward movement and price action, consolidation, and downward movements, just like this, downward movements. I have a 2-hour video explaining how I play supply and demand zones on my YouTube channel, so I won't get deep into that. But that's what I was looking for. We broke down, perfectly retested, and I'm right now stops are at break even. Hopefully we go further down, but I wouldn't open up shorts here blindly either, because if Bitcoin continues to pull us up, everything will go up as well. Now the coin that is really interesting to me right now is Solana. So we are back at the possible point of breakout for Sol. So let's remove this downtrend here. Possible falling wedge in play. We had a fake out over here with a little deviation back into the range. And we are back at the trendline resistance, right? So if you guys are looking to long this, you are waiting for a breakout and flip, which we have not done so. We also have the 4-hour 200 EMA approaching, okay? The place that I'm looking to long is going to be, or sorry, short, is going to be this 22,850, 885 area with very tight stop losses. But if this continues to flip this into support, so like that, and breaks out from this 200 EMA, I'll look to possibly cancel that. But for now, I'm looking for a wick up here for a quick scalp move and then down, because if this continues to run, then the technical targets of this falling wedge are going to be about back to like $27. Now this is a technical, all right? I'm not saying we're going to $27, but if we do break out and continue this, then that's what I'm looking for Sol. But again, we're going to take it level by level. My definite short that I will be taking is going to be back into this $24.20 range. I'm going to play that daily order block, and then hopefully we go down from there, and this puts out another lower high before I'm putting in another lower low. So those are the only coins that I'm looking at. I've made my trades for the month. I'm not looking to get into any other positions, but I'll take any recommendations from any coins you guys want to look at and then give you guys potential setups, and then I'll break them down from a clean chart so everyone can understand my thought process. So what coins do you guys want to take a look at?
Can you take a look at OGN?
OGN.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at OGN. All right. So this is your support for now. If it loses that, it's making new lows. I don't know. Let me see. Is there any data on... Okay, so it's literally, if it loses that, it's making new lows.
Okay, so currently I'm like short on it. At
One second.
I'm taking a shot at like stuck in a trade like 0.0752 around that.
So that's where you shorted? That red line over there?
Yeah, yeah, 0.0752 around there. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously altcoins will depend on BTC to run or not, but if it is to reject, then it should reject from here. We are at low time frame. Well, this is, I guess, mid range from. One sec. This is your short here. Let me just get that coordinate down really quickly. All right. Okay. So there was a 4-hour order block, rejected from it perfectly. If it is to reject and go further down, this would be the area. If we are able to flip this into support, so this has been unable to flip, deviation here, rejected, rejected. So if this flips, close a 4-hour above this 782 level, and then the next 4-hour holds it, then we should continue higher. But this is where I expect rejection, around 0.082. It's a supply zone there, but we already rejected from this 4-hour order block. So either reject here, and I don't know how this coin moves in terms of volatility because I don't trade it, but this is an area to reject. Otherwise, close a 4-hour above, then it should continue higher just like it did previously. So 4-hour above there, it closed 4-hour above, 4-hour above, and then we traded higher. So keep your eye out on this 4-hour close. This
Mm-hmm.
this wick here looks like, is that a flat candle? Yeah, that's a flat candle. So we should at least recover this candle here, in my opinion. And
Okay.
this would be the point of rejection to do so. And then you can add to your shorts. If we break down below this candle here, you can add to your shorts to get close to break even and play it that way. But you want to wait until this 4-hour closes.
Okay, so like I am already short on it, so like
Right.
what should I do? Like wait for it to close below 4 hour?
Well, I can't tell you to sell or anything, but I would if this 4-hour closes above this 782 level, then you could at least
Mm-hmm.
trim some, and if you want to
Mm-hmm.
hold it. But I would. I mean, it all depends on Bitcoin right now, right? So if Bitcoin continues higher, this will go higher. If Bitcoin stalls, then altcoins might continue to go a little bit more. But in my opinion, did you have a stop loss?
Not really, not now.
Okay, you need to have an invalidation point. In my opinion, my invalidation point, if I was shorting your setup here, it would have been it would have been stopped out already.
Okay,
So if it closes above the 782 level, I would go ahead and personally close out my position. But if
I
this
see.
this candle should at least recover this flat candle, or this price action should cover this flat candle, and we should head back to at least 7.7.
Okay, I see.
Any
Okay,
other coins?
thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for.
No worries.
So basically, September is not good for crypto. Like always dump in these months actually. If you see history,
Correct. Historically, September is not a good month for crypto.
yeah.
But you can't, you know, there's things that always change, right? So I don't play fractals. I play price action and level by level. So I personally don't let past news or past historical data affect my trade. I trade level by level.
Mm-hmm.
This also did break out, so it could possibly go for the retest point, but for now, it broke out. All right, what other coins do you guys want me to look at? XRP. Okay, I'll start a new chart here because this was from last stream. All right, so let's take a look. XRP currently at resistance, right? We've had rejection, 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 breakout, failed to hold on that retest, rejection, rejection. I wouldn't blindly short here because we do also have on a low time frame here. Right, if this level is flipped here, we have a wedge with a target, technical targets of, if this level is flipped, about 58 cents. So a possible long point could be this order block. Okay, which would also be in confluence with the trend line retest. We've been holding this trend, so you don't want to fade it. You want to keep playing until broken, right? So come back down. That's where you'd possibly be looking to long. Stops below support here. And target the technical point. Otherwise, the next long point would be, I'm going to... Someone has a hot mic. One sec. Right. Next point to long would be if this resistance gets flipped to support. Okay, so breakout. Then you'd long with stops probably somewhere here. I can't give you an answer on that yet. We don't have data. But if this breaks out and holds, then you'd long on the retest point, and then you target about 57, 58 cents. So either down here, or if this gets flipped, I wouldn't short anything right now. If I was looking to short, it'd be higher up, or if this trend line breaks. But if I were looking to short, I'd probably start that technical target around 58.37, right? So it was resistance here. Previously came back down, tested support, and bounced a little bit, and then it was support, support, support until it wasn't. That's where I'd be looking to short, around 58.3 cents. SHIB. Let's do 1,000 SHIB. Only because I don't want all the zeros. Let's take a look. Wait, is the same price? Yeah, minus all the zeros. Cool. Okay, let's remove these crappy EMAs. Okay, SHIB is also at a 4-hour resistance. Has been having trouble flipping this to support. I'd wait until, personally, if 4-hour closes above and holds just like this one did, right? We closed above, held, there's the retest point, and then continued higher. This is a supply zone that's already been filled. So I'd like a 4-hour close above, retest point to hold, and then I would get long. Otherwise, if this comes back down to possibly lower time frame, I get long in this area here. All right, something like that. So we actually broke out on the 2-hour. Okay, we actually had a successful retest. Now, if this 2-hour closes, we should continue to grind a little bit higher. But again, it depends on Bitcoin here. So I don't know. Is there something going on with this coin? Is that why? I know Elon is accepting crypto payments, but I don't know why this coin specifically. Is there something going on that
Yeah,
I should know about?
now it's a shit coin actually. Alan wants to be on news. I mean, he wants to be famous,
Oh yeah, I know.
so that's
I
why he keeps doing that to stay in the media.
yeah, this coin deserves to be at zero. I don't know why this fucking coin's
Exactly,
open.
it's a shit coin. It has no fundamentals. It has no technicals. So
Right. But on a lower time frame here, we're possibly looking at a deviation, right? So anything that's starting to form a rounding top, I get away from. Okay, so see how this had a rounding top here? We broke down, turned it into resistance here. I'm looking for the same thing. So if this has a rounding top, closes below, turns it into resistance, then it should go down to here. I wouldn't long here until we have a 4-hour closure and retest point above here. So for SHIB again looks dicey, but that will be my long point at 8164. Stop loss below here, and then we target that supply zone again. I'm not taking this play, by the way. Um, Storage. All right, let's take a look at storage. Okay, this coin is like no movement. Supply zone here. I short if we get there. If we get there. Now let's go on a lower time frame because this coin doesn't look like. All right. So supply zone rejected from, just like OGN. This has a flat candle. Okay, so this rejected perfectly from resistance slash the supply point. It broke out here. It had previously turned it into support, right? Lost it, turned into support, held support until we lost it, rejected. So this is now an SR point. I don't know again how this coin moves. I don't play these coins. But if it were to reject, it'd be here, and I would possibly look to. I wouldn't short this, but if that was the short setup, go back to range lows.
like, what kind of coins do you trade on?
I trade high cap coins, so top 25 to 30 market cap.
Oh,
Bitcoin,
I see.
Ethereum, Sol, Link, stuff like that. I don't trade shit coins. So that would be the setup. Um, you TP there, TP mid range there, and then the range low there. I wouldn't long this coin until, or buy this coin until this level is flipped to support. Now lower time frame, again, this has a rounded top, right? It may quickly bounce from this 15-minute demand zone. So you may get like a little pump from here, but that's where I would have shorted and then take profit there, there, and there. Thoughts on Bitcoin halving. So I don't think we're going to pump into the halving. I think the real pump comes end of 24, 25. I think I posted a Twitter post about it. So follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of stuff on there that I sometimes don't post in Discord. But I do think that recession is coming. I don't think that the dollar is topped. I think the dollar goes to 109. I think I posted my analysis in this server already. But we had a breakout. I'm expecting to possibly retest 102.64 and then head to 109. Okay, this would put in a Possible inverse head and shoulders. Technical targets would be 109. I still think that the stocks are eventually going to have a drawdown, and I don't think that we're going to pump into the May or April halving like we always do. I think it's going to be delayed. And I might be wrong, but for now, I'm sticking to my bias, and this always changes. I'm a trader, so I don't have a clear, oh, we're going down, oh, we're going up, one way point of view, and my bias does change. So for now, although we had this pump, this was news based, this was bullish news, but I think eventually we do go down. And it's crazy. I know I said this, and a lot of people will disagree with me, but ES.
Well, I do agree. It is pretty bearish right now.
I mean, stocks are bullish right now, but I expect us to go to at least 41.82 and then eventually hit 3,400. This could take months to play out, possibly even over like a year or two. Um, Again, I don't play historical data. I play it level by level. I go by what charts tell me, right? So yes, we could lower supply, increase demand, but I play it level by level. I don't let things in the past or any stuff like that affect the levels. If we break some levels and we turn it into support, right, then I long. If we come back down to a major macro level of support, then I long. If we go to macro resistance, then I short. So, um, do you only trade the top 30 for depth of liquidity? Yes. I trade with a higher size, so I want liquidity, and I don't want, illiquid shit coins like BLZ or Acro where I can just market long and I move the price like 2%, right? So, that's why I
Right.
trade BNB, Bitcoin. If you take a look at my trade log, it's literally all Sol, Bitcoin, ETH, BNB. Like those are the main coins I trade. So I look for consistent profit, or consistent growth in my portfolio versus those people that are trying to make 10, 15 trades a day. It's more about quality over quantity.
Okay, so any advice on any coin for long term hold?
I posted a video about the coins that I want to get on the dip. I'll link that again in my channel, and it's a full video of the coins that I want to get into. But Bitcoin and ETH should always be in your portfolio. If Sol goes down, Sol 2, I don't think Sol ever sees all times high again, but even a 10x upside from here is good. And then I'm looking for more of the new coins created this cycle or to be created in the upcoming cycle than trying to buy those Dino coins from the last bull run or two bull runs ago. I'm not looking to buy those old coins because they're not going to move as much as those new shiny coins such as Sui or Arb, Injective, right? Those are the coins that I'm looking to get. I'm not looking to buy Matic or XRP or CRV. I think those are complete garbage coins. Although, Atom, I like Atom. I will load up on Atom if we get a dip. I like their chain, but nothing like those. Um,
I
can you
see.
tell me how I. Thanks, Whitehawk. Can you tell me how I can tell when it's the right time to build my spot portfolio? So, if you're buying spot, you're going in with the mindset that you're going to hold for long term, right? Like you're not trading spot. Unless you are, then that's completely different. But if you are buying investments, then you have to go with the mindset that hey, within 1 year, 2 year, I'm going to be holding this. I don't care about my portfolio and the price action that's happening day to day, right? So if you're going to want to buy, then you have to DCA on the way down. Now, for example, I am waiting for these prices to hit. Okay, I'm not going to buy everything all at once. I am waiting until these prices hit. If they don't hit, then I will buy on the way up. Um, Once major levels are flipped to support. Okay, so if you are looking to buy coins on the way down, you buy smaller. First of all, you don't want to buy on green days that we just had, right? You don't want to buy on a 20% move up, 10% move up on those coins. You want to wait until it's a discount day or those that are red, and then you average in. And I'm not talking about buying every 2% dip. I'm talking about giving yourself rooms about 15, 10% difference, and then buying those macro levels of support. So, for example, right, like these, this is a 3% move, okay? My next EC is like a 10% move, 8% move, right? These are macro levels of support that I'm looking to buy, and if it doesn't happen, then I wait until this level is flipped to support, and then I'll start buying in, okay? So there's no right or wrong time to buy. Well, there is a wrong time to buy, and that's on days like this. But you want to average yourself in. If you believe in that project, if you believe in the coin for the long term, then these prices should not matter to you. Um, yeah, I don't blow my account on shitcoins. I haven't. I think the last time I had a red month, I mentioned it was back in February, and then before that, I didn't have a red month last year at all. SHIB? Yeah, I can look at SHIB again. Hold on. So I looked at this earlier. Okay. So I looked at this on the 4 hour, Caleb, originally, right? And I personally wouldn't get long until this resistance is flipped to support, right? So we broke out, turned into support there, and that's a long, because we could easily deviate just like we did here. And if I go on a lower time frame, we see that we had a rounding top, and we're possibly putting in a rounding top right here. Okay, lose this. Well, it's still resistance. We haven't flipped it to support, but break down below again, and then reject. Then I'm looking for that. So on a low time frame, I'm looking. If I were to long this shitcoin, I'd be looking for a move to 8163 for a possible long with stops below 7943, and then target the supply zone again. But for me, on a low time frame, this could actually flip it and continue higher. So ultimately, I think we get a pullback. I don't like that candle either. I personally long if this 4 hour resistance is flipped to support. No worries. um, BNB. A lot of people, like with the FUD and everything, were looking to short this coin. But when you see consolidation under resistance, okay, and it's not, if Bitcoin's going down and this is barely moving, this is why I closed my initial BNB short that I gave last week, break even, because I was seeing this resistance here, and any dump that Bitcoin had, this was barely moving. Okay, yet we had this one, sure, but then Bitcoin was dumping $300 to $400. This was barely moving, right? When you see strength like this, and yes, we can say this was, hey, a bullish pattern here, right? You have a pennant, or not a pennant, close to a pennant. Then we broke out, right? When you see consolidation under resistance and Bitcoin's taking a dump, and you're looking to short something that isn't dumping, right? That's a bad mindset. I've seen this all over Twitter. People were looking to short this. There was no trigger, right? It didn't break trend, low time frame trend. It was consolidating under resistance. So you want to focus on macro levels to short. That's why, like, when I look for shorts or longs, I look on the daily, I look on the weekly, on coins that are providing those that data, right? So it's best to zoom off the 15-minute or 1 hour. And some people are on for the 5 minute or the 3 minute. Those that trade on the on the 1 minute are on some type of drug that I don't want a part of. But if you zoom out on the daily and you plot your points, okay, you plot your resistances, you plot your supports, you will see these levels that you don't see on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, right? So on the weekly, I know most of you guys aren't well familiar with TA. That's why Udemy has the course, right? But if you guys read about supply and demand zones, this was an easy short to take. Okay, so that's why I play those high time frames, because those levels are going to be much stronger than those low time frame trades. Although they take a while to play out, right? I gave 19 trades total, and 8 of those were covered in streams. But 11 trades that I took in just the month of August, I play quality trades. So those that are over trading this chop, especially when Bitcoin was in a $200 range or $50 range for 10 days, we're just getting blown out. Because the only coins that were moving were those illiquid coins such as BLZ, Acro. I don't even know what else. Do you take the trades you are giving them now? You mean the trades that I covered this stream? No. Any trade that I take, I will post in my channel. That's why I didn't include those covered in stream trades in my my trade log. Why is this coin? So things, and I posted this before. I have a video on how to play swing failures, right? The
Evet. Onu merak
hold on one sec.
ettim.
You guys, the best trades to take are going to be those swing failure patterns, okay? It is the highest risk to reward that you could possibly get. So, like, for example, I'm going to remove this and I'll show you this here, okay? I'll show you live. So you have a swing low right here, okay? That's the low. Yes, this goes here, but this is current price action. This candle, people were looking to long right here. This is support with their stops below that low, okay? However high they want to go, okay? Because this is support. It's been holding. These wicks don't matter. It's about where the candle closes, okay? But confirmation plays are the best types because you're not setting limits. You're waiting for things to happen. So although this was support here, people were placing their stops below this because it's the common thing to do. But you're waiting for that sweep to happen to take those shorters out or longers out, take their stop losses out, give liquidity to pump higher. Okay, so here's the swing low. This candle took that and reclaimed it, meaning it closed above. Okay, that is a swing failure, right? Now, if you miss the long, about 80% of the time, price comes back to that swing low, and it did, right? We went a little bit higher, but then it came back down and then continued to go higher. So once that happens, once you see a swing failure happen, you will mark it long with your stops below the wick. Okay, look, that is a 1% risk, and if you rode this all the way to the top, okay, it was a 19-hour trade. So if you risked $100, you made $1,900. Same with here, right? 2 hour. Here's the swing high. One sec, let me actually get this to match. Okay, here's the swing high. This candle took the liquidity, closed below, right? If you had shorted on the next candle with your stops above the wick, 5% move there, right? So that's what I look for. I look for SFPs, and I play those a lot. So here's another one, right? There's the low. You can even take this one, took the liquidity, went higher. So those will give you the best risk to reward trades because the stop will be very tight. Okay, and you can literally trade one coin over and over again. Now the lower the time frame you go, the weaker it's going to be. Okay, so like you had this high here. It took it out briefly and then gave you that dump. Okay, but if you had shorted on the next candle open, you would have been stopped out immediately. But look, you're risking 1%. But this was all, the pump was based on the news, so there's nothing you can do with that. Alright? The news will fuck you here and there, and that's part of the game. Now, the way that I trade, and there's a video, a 2-hour video on this, I play these demand zones. And I have a few students in here that see this, right? This tapped demand zone perfectly and gave a 2% pump. Next demand zone is actually going to be here. Right, so that would be the setup. And play it that way. Targets are going to be resistances if you're longing, and supports if you're shorting. But it doesn't mean it's always going to hit, right? They're not guaranteed to hit. So whatever profit you're comfortable with, if it's to the point where you're taking a screenshot of your gains, right, then you should at least trim and move your stop loss break even. Okay, I see a lot of people holding to TP1 or TP2 and not moving their stop losses to break even if a target hits, and then they're in chats asking, "Oh, hey, are you guys still holding?" Right? If TP1 hits, you're going to trim, and you're going to trim the most because that's the most logical point. BE at current price or entering price? Entering price. So it's your break-even point. All right. Any other coins you guys want me to look at? TRB. Man, this coin, when it runs, it just scam wicks. Let me see. Like, what the fuck is that? Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. So this line was support and resistance, an SR point, right? Rejected, flipped to support, flipped to support. We broke down. I don't know what the fuck that was. Support reclaimed, support held, broke down, resistance, rejected, rejected, and we flipped this to support, I guess, yesterday. So this rejected perfectly from this order block. Again, this coin is very illiquid. So lower time frame, you are looking for one of two things. there has to be a possible bearish divergence here, but rising wedge, okay, we broke down. If we go back and retest, which possibly happens around here-ish or maybe a little bit lower, then you're looking to short with stops very tight. Technical targets for this. For our 15-minute order block. So if this goes back up here, rejects, closes below, then that's where you'd be looking to short. Again, longs should not be taken until this 1533 is flipped to support. Just like we broke out, flipped it to support, went higher. Yeah, this is when you, okay, so this is how I know when I don't trade a coin. If I open up something and I see wicks like this, it's an automatic no for me, okay? Because I know the coin's a liquid. Like, for example, I saw some people trading this yesterday, and this had a quick wick to like 20 points. This is a spot chart, okay? So the perp chart looks a little bit different. Let me see if I can find. All right. So these wicks are insane, okay? Like, it doesn't look like it's much, but an 8% wick, right? 3% wick, like, these are crazy, right? When I see stuff like this, I don't trade it. That's why I stick to the high cap coins. Looks rare. Let's take a look. So the last time I took a look at this was December. All right. Is that all the data? Okay. All right. So it's at resistance currently. I wouldn't look to long this until it breaks, closes the daily above, and retest holds. It hasn't been able to do that. We closed above, but the retest didn't hold over here. So wait for this to be flipped. It could reject from this supply zone. I have no idea what those are. I don't do NFTs. They sound like NFT coins. So possible short entry would be at this supply zone. Oh geez, that's a... So there's no problem in taking this short. I know it's 11% risk. So what you have to do is lower your position size. Okay? That's a very, very wide stop for a small move like that. All right. So okay. It's in a rising wedge, rising channel, rising wedge, and it's been holding trend. Okay, it's been rejecting off of this. You need 3 definite touches, 1, 2, 3. So this was confirmed there. 1, 2, 3. This was confirmed here, and from that point on, it's just been bouncing. Okay, lower time frame. This is putting in a rounded top. Right. So if it rejects here, it's going to look like SHIB. And let me show you that comparison really quickly. Shit. One sec. Alright. You see how I was talking about the rounded top over here, and then it broke down and looks like this, right? Same thing, that's what it looks like. Rounded top, coming down, turning this resistance to, it's confirming resistance, so if it rejects here, then it could possibly go further down. Long points is going to be either the trend line again, here is an SR point, right? Resistance, flipped it to support briefly, rejected, deviated, rejected. So it could actually bounce from this line here. And the longer this takes, right, it's going to be in confluence with this trend line retest. And possible, again, this is the stop's going to be extremely wide on this one. And then you target this supply zone. Now if this breaks down, right, you're waiting for that retest, then you'd short, and technical targets is going to be 46.85. So no longs here, it's at daily resistance. You're waiting for that confirmation to happen and either come back to this 4-hour retest point SR area, or if this flips on the daily, which it hasn't yet, then you could long it to this supply zone. TP probably one around here. It's going to be a quick TP, but this coin looks illiquid with those wicks. Yeah, but that Bitcoin wick wasn't caused by low liquidity. There was news. So, okay, when you guys see differences between spot chart and perp charts, okay, it's when you see wicks like that, most of the time it doesn't happen on spot charts, okay? Like, for example, if we take a look at ETH spot versus ETH perp, okay? Alright. So on that wick that we had down, ETH went to 1550 on Binance Spot, probably Coinbase Spot as well, but on perp chart it went to 1493. That's how you can tell that, you know, the market is over leveraged, okay? And you want spot prices to be leading, okay? If you ever see perp charts lead or perp prices leading, like for example, this is Coinbase, okay, and the price of spot is up against perp. Okay, so this is Binance perp or Bybit perp, and this is Binance perp. Okay, premium for spot is leading by at least $20. So this tells me we're going higher. Okay, it's not a confirmation to long, it's not a confirmation to short, but this tells me we're going higher. Okay, so if spot prices are leading versus perp charts or perp prices, then that's confirmation we're going higher, and you should possibly consider your positions. And that's why the rebound on the ETH spot chart was crazy. Do most imbalances get filled on different time frames? It depends. I don't play imbalances, but usually they do get filled, right? It's a fair value gap, so is it better to chart the spot or perp? It's different, right? So if you are trading spot or if you're trading perp, you have to be using the chart associated to what you're trading. Okay, so yes, you may get the fill on the perp chart, but you might not get it on the spot chart. There's more. That's how you know that the market is heavily over leveraged, is when the perp chart or the perp prices are going further down than the spot prices. So if you're trading perp, or if you're trading leverage, you should be using the perp charts. So see how Acro right now? You see the spot price is 18.97. Let's take a look at the perp price. Look, it's a difference in perp price and spot price, right? So spot price is leading. Probably the funding is highly negative, right? You will see a short squeeze. So when you see stuff like this, when you see that spot is leading perp, it's most likely going to go higher. And it's one that you don't want to short. Ave. Okay, possible breakout coming. It's also putting in a cup. It's at resistance, horizontally and trend line, right? So look, whenever it puts a cup in, it's a basing, right? It goes higher, cup, it goes higher, and that's when it loses this level. Okay, so if we reclaim this level, it should go a little bit higher. Now this looks like a parallel channel, kind of. Let me see. Not really. But flip this to support, we should continue to go a little bit higher. First targets will come around here. And then this order block. So not really a parallel channel because like you want it, I mean, it's definitely putting in a 3 drive. Okay? It's a bullish 3 drive pattern. Flip this, we should go higher. But you want the parallel channel to be clean. Like you don't want wicks here. I personally don't like wicks on my parallel channel. Okay? You want everything to be in this channel. That's how I play it. So again, I wouldn't long this until this is flipped to support, just like we did here. We flipped it to support and continue to go higher, right? Flipped it to support, went higher. Flipped it to support, went a little bit higher. Flipped it to support, went higher. So no flip for me, no entry. Lower time frame. Lower time frame, possibly. Here's the SR point, right? Rejection, deviation, rejection, rejection, rejection. Come back down over here. Not only do you have an SR point attempt, you also have a retest of this trend line. So a possible long could be taken here with stops below and target higher. But this isn't one that I would take. I'd wait for that flip of the 1 hour resistance to go long. So it's a confirmation play for me. And again, how to play confirmations are pinned to my channel. I got one more coin in me, and then I gotta head back to work. I am still short Bitcoin from 27,470 still, by the way. I just got that DM. It's not healthy to eat coins. No worries, man. The American Disability Act, ADA. Let's take a look. Okay. So we see here that the lows, this is support. Okay, 3-day support, 1-day support, but the higher the time frame is the one I'm going to be using. We had a swing failure, went higher, right? We bounced from support as the third touch of support. Now lower time frame. Possible breakout coming. A lot of coins are poised for possible breakouts. Now, they will break out if Bitcoin dominance. Let me show that really quickly because this goes hand in hand. So, I went over Bitcoin dominance and how to play it last time, right? I said if we bounce, if we reject from resistance, then it's going to be a long alts type of situation. Okay, when we bounce from support, Bitcoin's going to take the lead, and that's what's been happening, right? Now Bitcoin and this and alts go hand in hand, right? Now if this breaks out, alts will rally, but not as much as Bitcoin. Where the fuck do I draw? Let's draw it from here. Okay. If this continues to run, alts will run, but not as much as Bitcoin will. Okay, but if this dumps, alts will have a beating. Okay, if this rejects from here, that's good. But if this continues to dump from here, I think I shared with you guys this last time, but I'll reshare it. One sec. Copy image. Here. So keep this somewhere for your notes. So you see how Bitcoin dominance increases and Bitcoin's increasing, right? If that continues, it says alts decrease, but it's going to be slowly going up. Okay. Now, if Bitcoin dominance increases and Bitcoin decreases, then everything's fucked. Like alts are fucked, right? You want Bitcoin dominant, or you want the price of Bitcoin to be stable within a range, just like it was within that $200, $300 range that we have for the past like 10 days, and then some alts will shine, right? So for ADA to break out, in my opinion, we need Bitcoin to just chill. Okay, and if this does break out, I expect it to at least reject from here. Okay, previously support, deviation, bounce from it, rejected, rejected. Once we broke down, we never had an actual retest, so that's going to be the first point of rejection. But if you're looking to long, you want to wait until a retest happens, and then you'll long on that retest with stops, very tight stops below support. Something like that. Possible double bottom forming as well. So technicals are pointing this goes up, but for me, I need confirmation, so breakout, retest, and then that would be the play. American Disability Act. Okay, cool. So that's it for me. I'll go ahead and upload this stream, and I would advise on shorting here or longing. I just wait for price action to develop. When you have a big move like this, right, you want price action to develop and form some kind of low time frame range to get yourself into positions. Yeah, so thanks, Caleb. I started my class, my mentorship. First class was yesterday. It's an 8-week course, and to be honest, this is it's an average size class, but the most amount of questions. So when you guys go to streams, when you guys get mentorships, like you want to take advantage of those and ask questions, right? I know a lot of people come here and want to watch something done and give entries, but you want to ask why are you doing that, right? You want to get into the analysts or whoever's giving the call into their head and their setup. So that's what I aim to provide for my students, and we'll see how these kiddos will do after week 4, the 8th session. I hope eventually some of these people will end up being signal callers here. I know I have 2 students that are actually signal callers currently in the same exact Discord. So my goal is to get as many of these people to become comfortable in making their own plays and rely less on analysts for plays. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. I'll be doing streams Tuesdays until my classes are over, but that's it for me. Thanks, everyone.